I kind of think, I don't know, Kevin, this is kind of up to you, but do we let the Doug thing die with Civilized Age?
I don't know. I don't know, chat. Do they let the Doug thing die? I just went live. Welcome, everyone, to
Evil.
Lost Lore Academia. That was, well, whatever. How's everyone doing tonight?
Academia. Namia.
Also, but answer the question. Is the Doug thing over? Given your name, probably not.
Oh,
Doug?
shit, I didn't even put two and two together like that.
Look at his last name.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lost Lore Academia, a brand new show here on Long Lost Lore. Whoa, we have like some of the names of the thing. That's weird. My name is Philip, and for this game, I am Long Lost Lore. And surrounding me, on all sides except above, are my wonderful players. Say, class is in session, baby. Players.
Hello.
Session, baby.
Class is in session.
Players.
This is a mixed group, some actors, some not, and the ones who...
Oh, I thought you meant there were men and women here.
Well, it's also that.
That too.
I'm eating gooseberries.
Well, great. How's everyone doing tonight?
Great.
We
It's
ready to-
sweater weather, baby.
Great.
It's sweater weather
sweater
in
weather.
cloudy,
Sweater weather.
rainy Southern California.
That really is the case. It's you know when it gets around 60 degrees, it is parka season here
Yeah.
in the city of angels.
Maybe an anorak.
Well, if you can afford an anorak,
I mean, we're
Anorak.
attending this university.
that is true. Where you guys are at this school, it is extremely cold, and you're all wearing pea coats.
Yeah.
Philip,
I
you're
love
gonna
that.
you're gonna have to tell me what it was like to attend a private university because I went public.
Okay.
What's it like to be fancy?
It's great.
Just you know how you act, like you know the times off stream when you're talking about like the makeup that other girls wear, and you're just like putting them down so hard and like being so insulting, like you know like the things you say about like normal.
You know
people?
those times like Philip and I are telling
Yeah.
you to like calm down your.
When
rhetoric?
we're like you're being mean to this woman over here in this restaurant, and you're like, remember, and you're just screaming about how tacky she looks. Just it's just that all the time.
Oh my gosh.
But you understand it now, right? You understand.
That being said,
yeah. I do.
he's being a dick, but he did explain it. So we have a brand new game here tonight. This is a game that has been kind of a long time in the making. It sort of happened one day when I was honest. I'll just tell you the full origin. When I was hanging out at KJ's house, watching her play a game called Dreamlight Valley. And I was like, oh, maybe this is a thing. So basically, this is a game of downtime. Though every week we're gonna check in here and have like a fun story going on. Much of what this game is also about is that on a daily basis, these players and you, the viewers, if you so choose, can check in and do sort of maintenance and make choices about the narrative of this game, about sort of what's going on, managing certain resources, these standard types of actions. Crafting, collecting. We'll get into all of it as we go, but that is the basic concept for this campaign. It is, of course, set at a prestigious university called Oakshire University, located in Connecticut. It is an Ivy League school, so you guys are all either high achievers or just rich jerks. In some cases, both.
Why not both?
That's the spirit. So basically, I'm trying to think of the best, got a lot figured out about this game, but I still haven't actually fully decided how I'm going to start it. I have explained to the players that this involves a sort of, tonight's game is going to be a little bit session zero, a little bit tutorial, as I explain how it all kind of functions, how it all fits in together. And I think that we may actually go ahead and start with the narrative. We'll just kind of jump into things, and then step back, and we'll explain both how it works for you, the players, and you, the viewers. But before we do that, I think it would be good out of game to introduce ourselves to our wonderful players and the characters they have. If you would just tell us some of the details, you can tell us what, if anything, you're majoring in, what year you are. That would be a good one to put out there. You can tell us any of your extracurriculars. You can tell us anything about your background you'd like. Or you can just say, here's my name in real life, here's my name in the game. Shut up, let's get into it. The choice is yours. You can do this how you'd like. Lauren, I know you're coughing at that moment, but I was going to start with you based solely on the arrangement of people here in the...
I'm good to go. My name is Lauren, for those of y'all who don't know, and I will be playing Medina Lake. She is not rich. She got into this school based on a fencing scholarship. And she's just trying to make her way in the world of academia.
And what is it you're studying here?
Pre-law.
Okay. Pre-law. Great. Felicia. Let's go to you now.
Well, hi, I'm Felicia. And my character's name is Nova Borealis. And I am really into folklores and myths and ghosts. And I'm a freshman studying philosophy.
Wonderful. Oh, I guess that actually brings up Medina. What year are you?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Wow. Upper class.
Oh.
Wonderful.
She's probably like a senior or sophomore 0.5. She had like honors classes.
Ah.
They counted a little,
Sure, I get it.
Nerd.
She could graduate off. There we go. That's the Doug we were waiting for. Let's go to Callie next.
I'm KJ. My character's name is Callie Nornir. She's a freshman, and her major is mythology and folklore. And I had to look at the Instagram post because I forgot her major.
Really like that. I really like that because you were the first person to pick a major. And I added it to the list of majors. A million other people picked it as a class they're taking. And minor spoiler alert, you all are in a folklore class together.
I am minoring in mythology.
Some are actually minoring in it. Some are just taking it for I think it's
Me
probably...
too.
It's probably one that I believe the specific one would like. It would fulfill certain, common core such, but you are all in a class called Folklore Traditions in Popular Culture. Nice to meet you, Callie. Let's go to Frankie.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm playing Frankie Hayworth, and I'm a freshman, undeclared major. I am legacy at the school. Both my parents went here, and three of my older siblings. And I'm not afraid of the dark. I would say I might occasionally, depending on a roommate, use a nightlight if that's fine. My mother said I shouldn't talk about it. You can call me Frankie.
And you are interested in photography, right?
Oh, that's currently what I'm thinking about, yes.
She's the one with the camera from the Instagram post. I ruined it. All right, here's Medina. Fencing.
Medina Lake,
Medina Lake.
by the way.
You can't just call her. You can't call her by her first name.
No, you can. I just said.
Is it like Duchess Contessa? That is the first name?
Harry Hamlin. Okay, so next up, this is Nova Borealis. Here is Callie Nornir. Thank you, Frankie. Moving on. Doug.
I'm Kevin. I am playing Doug Jolly III, or DJ3, hockey superstar extraordinaire on full ride here to this university, first in the family to make it to such a prestigious university. I actually don't remember what year he is, so I'm trying to find my notes.
You a lot of your stuff was texts to me and not just emails, and I think that always makes it harder to
So let's say, I don't know, fresh-faced freshman. Why not?
I like it. God.
And major is business.
Not communications.
I didn't know if this prestigious university offered such. But the focus is the hockey in the rink.
Amen. All right, and then lastly, Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. My character is Connor Draper. I am double majoring in history and political science. I'm minoring in French. I am a junior. I'm from the town outside Boston called Lincoln. That's where my family lives. Pretty much everyone else in my family went to Oakshire's rival university, but so I'm by no means the first person in my family to attend an institution of this caliber. But I am the first person to not attend that other school.
There you go. The first person in your family to attend this specific.
Yes.
And you would probably, hopefully, argue superior.
I would. Yes, I was. That's why I picked it.
There you go. Well, a fun group. Several of the students in the sort of folklore traditions and popular culture. You know, Doug might have taken that class because it seemed like a pleasant way to get some, you know, core curriculum stuff. For Callie, this is a part of her major. For Nova and Medina, a part of minors. For Frankie, probably one of 10,000 just things she's tried out because what the heck. Connor, for
what periods of history? I mean, because this could very well intersect with my my major is a focus. My history major is a focus in post-Alexandrian, pre-Roman, Middle Eastern history. So, Lauren's face. So I don't know if it touches on any areas there, but that could certainly
post-Alexandrian, pre-Roman, Middle Eastern history.
Yes.
Okay. Not so much in this one, but
okay, that's fine.
But perhaps you could find something. Well, a very fun group. I'm excited to have you all here. So yes, you all are known to one another here at Oakshire University. As being in this class, some of the freshmen, perhaps you have other classes together. I'll even throw this out there. If any of the freshmen, we do have three freshman women. If anyone would like to be roommates with each other, if a pair of you want to be like, we're roommates, you can, or everyone can just have their own roommates. I know some of you have just met each other, so that may be like a crazy thing. Counterpoint, that's what college is. So, if anyone wants to say they're roommates or anything, you may do so now. Otherwise, we'll say you are not roommates, you're all independent in classes and such. Then we'll move on from that possibility. So that means I will eventually have to roll up 6 or more NPCs to be everyone's roommates. Cool.
I feel like Callie and I could be roommates since we're like studying the same thing, and Callie's freshman too, right?
Yeah, freshman.
Is it because of the nightlight thing? Listen, I can
And even though Medina's older, she her scholarship may not cover the upperclassmen housing, so she might be in a freshman dorm.
They wouldn't put you in a freshman dorm. You'd corrupt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to public school.
Yeah, they absolutely wouldn't.
Yeah, they wouldn't. That's
but
why
Medina didn't.
I didn't
you'd be
mention
caught
you,
dead in the
Medina.
lower.
So
She
Nova
lives
and
in a
Callie.
tent on campus.
Should we say
Sounds
Nova and Callie are roommates? Cool. Wow. The cliques are already forming. If you guys thought it was bad in Blue Moon, get ready. So, my friends. There's going to be some things in this game where I'm just going to kind of inform you of some things that have happened in the past. Just roll with it, if you will, and we'll be getting into our sort of story. Here at Oakshire University, it's a competitive school. Old world, old money, Ivy League, and yet, as most of these institutions do, they are really trying to modernize, to sort of update some of their, less than gleaming historical traditions. This school is somewhat ahead of the curve. In the 1990s, fraternities and sororities were actually shut down as they were sort of kind of undeniably disruptive on people's grades and things like that. There do remain some sort of more secretive societies around Oakshire, finals clubs like they have at Harvard, or just kind of private clubs of like-minded individuals. But the school is always, though everyone here is very elite, and to have graduated from Oakshire gives you a real leg up in sort of networking and jobs and things like this. The school is definitely trying to not be quite so elitist. Easier said than done. School is also trying to remove, plaques commemorating, slave owners, or kind of some of those more shameful things from the history of literally all these Ivy League schools. So it's kind of a turning point at the school in many ways. Oakshire is divided into sort of two campuses. There is the upper campus and the lower campus. The lower campus, and they are separated by a pretty sizable, like nearly 80 to 100 feet at varying places. This kind of just like sheer rock face separates, almost like there's a very sharp cliff, and the school goes up there. There's some steps you can take down, and some of the buildings actually have like elevators. They've been built against this, so you can kind of get that. Yes, Connor.
Were both parts of the campus built together, or is one part older than the other?
The lower campus is somewhat older, but they actually they did have some of the main buildings were on the upper campus as well, some of the original buildings, but the quad is down on the lower campus. Most of the and dorms are kind of have grown up on both sides, but on the upper campus there is a collection of buildings they call the false quad. It is a quad that is kind of is arranged like a nice quad, but they're not the primary, most prestigious buildings. They're sort of some smaller buildings, more specialized study takes place in them. One of those buildings is a Gothic house with a tall tower called Hampstead Hall, seen in Lego right behind me there. Hampstead Hall is it's kind of an eclectic building on campus. It has a pipe organ within one of the main chambers. It also has a library. I actually wrote this down. Hold on. There are 16 libraries on campus. Hampstead Hall is one of them. It is primarily a collection of rare books and special collections, and it is not organized as like huge stacks. It is actually, there's like separate little rooms and reading rooms and chambers, and the librarians who work there often have to sort of guide people to the right places. Most students don't really ever go to Hampstead Hall. It is at the far end of the false quad. It's away from most of the action. People might occasionally, attend like a mixer in there and be like, oh, this place is weird. But For most students, when you're not in it, you tend not to think about it too much. It's kind of a weird spot, and you'd rather go somewhere with more amenities. One other thing about Hampstead Hall, through some quirk of the geography of this campus, nobody gets a good cell reception in there.
Ugh.
And the
The
internet,
Wi-Fi?
the Wi-Fi is extremely spotty. There are a couple of, in like the front room, there are a couple of like wired computers, but they say the Wi-Fi
Ugh.
just doesn't really work there. So as a result, it's probably not the primary studying locale for most students. But for those who enjoy the sort of Gothic architecture, roaring fires, the occasional sounds of a pipe organ being played from a few rooms over, the tolling of a grandfather clock, strange artifacts that were probably stolen from their cultures of origin and are displayed here in a perhaps way that should we correct it at some point when anyone gets around to updating everywhere on campus. There's definitely a charm to it. All 6 of you recently went to Hampstead Hall as part of an assignment given by Professor Arthur Davies, who is teaching folklore traditions and popular culture. He recommended Hampstead Hall as one location you might find more obscure works. You could ask the primary librarian there, Mr. Mo Chaudhry, to assist you in finding sort of some works that might have some folklore as a part of them. Kind of varying sort of more popular literature, because interestingly, though you can find plenty of just popular literature or genre fiction in the main libraries, like and such as Nottingham Library, that's the major library on campus, there seemed to be kind of a more eclectic collection within Hampstead Hall of books that might provide some interesting insights, some new perspectives for this paper that you're all writing. So each of you visited. And something about the place is soporific. You can get tired when you sit there reading. Sometimes you have odd dozing dreams as you read through these various works. We'll get back to that in a moment. But the point is, around a week after all of you went there at various different separate times, we'll say even Nova and Callie, you guys had to go separately, didn't even go together. For reading your works, you are summoned back to Hampstead Hall by Professor Davies. It is an urgent message sent to your cell phones and your emails. He even reaches out to people on various social medias in kind of a way that is not against any policy but seems weird. There is an urgent requirement for the 6 of you to come to Hampstead Hall at once. There are even implications that this might affect, there are urgent matters requiring your attention involving your position at the school, such terms as that. Nothing outright threatening, but concerning enough that all of you, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're just doing some schoolwork at home, watching hockey tape, practicing fencing footwork, having a food fight in the cafeteria, you all decide that you probably need to respond and show up. So it is after 10 p.m. when you see one another walking across the false quad, going to this building where the lights are still on. You see the lead librarian is actually there, Mo Chaudhry. He's kind of just kind of picking at his mustache and looking sort of antsy and odd, but he directs you all into sort of the main room that has the main sort of great room on the first floor that has the pipe organ. He is joined by Jama Mack. She is one of the student librarians there. I would say at least half of you saw her when you came through. She was just kind of the person on duty. She's a sophomore. And in this room, waiting for you, pacing with sort of great energy, is Professor Davies. He's an older gentleman, you know, kind of light gray hair, dressed very dapperly in a sort of typical collegiate fashion. Once you're all in, he says, "All right. Well, thank you all for coming. I'm so sorry to have asked you here so late at night under such circumstances, but there is a bit of a situation that needs rather immediate attention, and I'm fairly certain it is the six of you, no one else from class, that I need to talk to. When I sent you to this library, I didn't realize. Perhaps I'd had half a thought that something like this could have happened again, but I never really thought that it would happen, and certainly not on this scale. He looks around at all of you. Would anyone like to go first? Medina. You came here a few days ago, is that correct?
Yes.
You read a book.
I did. That's what you do in libraries.
Indeed. So, Medina, you did read a book, in fact. And based on some roles you gave me this weekend, the book that you read was, because I know that you often sort of gravitate towards true crime or sort of crime fiction. You found a novel. It seemed somewhat interesting. It was called Murder by Murder. And as you read it, you recalled yourself very intrigued by one of the characters. So much so that for a moment you almost felt she was sitting right across from you. In that room. Then you sort of woke up. But the character in question, Medina, well, we'll get back to that in a moment. He turns to Nova, and he asks her if she in fact picked up a work of horror fiction called Blood from a Stone. He asked if Frankie was reading comic books.
Yes.
A comic book called Top Flight. That Callie had, in her general interest in folklore, had picked up a fantasy novel called Here Be Dragons. That Doug, with his interest in, well, I won't say what his main interest is he's looking for, but he was enchanted by a tome called Wellness Beyond the Witchlight. And Connor, because it was the closest thing I could find to a Don DeLillo book, read something called Grey in the Dark, a hard-boiled noir novel. And all of you did feel that the characters in these books felt very real. Medina.
Yeah?
Should I reveal who they've talked to yet? Or should I reveal the game? I will say that as you think about this, he sort of says, so you all, you read these books.
Of course.
You had a connection to some of these characters, and each of you certainly did have a feeling of one character really feeling like they were coming off the page. And he says, right, So, you know those characters who you read about in these books. They're all still here in the next room.
Callie will raise her hand.
Yes, Callie?
I had not pledged to any sorority yet. I don't believe I'm supposed to be receiving any hazing from any faculty or staff.
Oh my gosh, you raised your hand and it moved you in the thing.
I didn't do that.
You didn't click raise your hand?
No.
Oh.
Oh, does it do it?
Oh, does it do it automatically?
If you... Oh, that's
Hold on,
so
I'm gonna
weird.
lower it. I'm gonna do it again.
You
Oh
said...
yeah, if I hold it up for a certain amount of time. Oh, that's weird.
Wow, and it moved you right there. That's crazy.
Oh, magic.
Well,
okay.
Callie, as he sort of... So basically, you're saying you aren't pledging?
She's implying that she thinks this is a hazing thing, and she thinks it's weird that the staff is doing it.
And he kind of sighs and says, well, I think that the 6 of you have just been inducted into a very, very special organization. At that point,
I don't have time. I don't have time for any more extracurriculars.
Yeah, I've got fencing. I can't dedicate any more time to any groups or anything.
I don't think you're all quite understanding what I'm telling you. He goes to the door and throws it open. And as the 6 of you, your eyes grow wide. Welcome to Lost Lore Academia. So, my friends, welcome to a game in which this is effectively a game about collecting characters from all our other streams. And in fact, this is what is the twist on this is that this is what's called a gacha game. So the downtime in question is earning materials and energy such that you can unlock more characters and, build a little thing here inside this hall to get as many characters as you can. We're very excited about it. And thank you so much for playing. As a gift to you for signing up, each one of you received a legendary or better character, which you got to so basically you are all starting with a very high level character. Now I'm going to tell you, grinding these out is very hard. Now, so basically, yes, you all got these are like legendary tier bookshelves. Bookshelf is our equivalent of loot crates or boxes. So you guys get a bookshelf. So the bookshelf we will kind of go through and see what everyone unlocked in a moment. But for everyone in the game and for everyone at home, the way this works is they're collecting characters. What's the purpose of it? Remains to be seen. For now, this is just a thing about some people at a school, but there are some primary downtime activities people can do to collect more characters. The first one is research. Research is where you get to use meta-knowledge. Anyone can use their downtime day to research a specific character that you actually know about from watching all of our things, if you want to see our characters pick them up. The characters range in rarity from minor rarity. These are unnamed characters, such as, this would be like a Matzo family, enforcer from Grey in the Dark, or one of the zombies from Blood from a Stone. They are sort of, common rarity. Next up, you have Renowned, who are sort of characters who are notable but interesting. Then it goes to Fabled. Then it goes to Legendary, and then if you want the really serious characters, you go up to Mythic. There are
Jacket Girl.
Do you want to know? You know what? I'm going to give you a freebie right now. I'm not doing this for the rest of the time, but I will give you a freebie on Jacket Girl for context. Jacket Girl is a legendary character.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And character rarity is based to some extent both by power level and also by significance. Yes, Connor.
Would like Rana and Revel be like one card together?
Good question.
That would probably be. Actually, no. I think they might be separate. Hold on.
Does Star Wars exist in this universe?
The short answer is you can collect these people, and yes, you can see Star Wars. But we'll get to what's going on with those. That's a much more complicated thing. No, they are not together. They are separate cards.
Okay.
Cards, I said, or characters. So the point being, this is a fun game. If you might also notice that each of you has been assigned a series that you have not played in. You're all specifically been given something you have not. That being said, you don't have to collect the thing you've been assigned. You can collect any characters, you can go for anything, and what our viewers can do is help you, and they can sort of go after the characters they want. Research is a fun mechanic. It is not necessary. You don't have to do any research, but research is what allows you to bring a character you'd like to see in the game into the game by letting, if you do enough research to get enough lore about a character learned, then these characters know about it and they can do the next downtime called transcription. That is like producing material. And then the last thing to produce sort of energy or currency is reading. So you can use your downtime to read, you can use your and that gives you sort of energy to eventually summon new characters. You can use your downtime to transcribe, which is how you kind of like transcribe information about the characters, or you can use your downtime to research characters, and there's going to be other downtime activities as well. I'll also mention that reading has a fun twist, and it is by the honor system, so I hope people don't abuse this. If you choose to use your downtime to read, and you actually read that day, you get double reading points.
I read every.
Oh, you mean like in real life?
In real life, if you read a book,
does audiobook count?
How much reading does this counts for this?
Yeah, like 10 pages or like a chapter?
I'm simply saying it's the honor system. If you do what you consider an actual thing of reading, then do it. But if not, if you don't, you will be cursed in real life.
But it's working out because I need motivation to do that.
Okay, I'll give some suggested guidelines. So that's the way this game works. Welcome to a gacha game. Yup, it's literally one of those things. And before you ask, yes, you can pay me money to advance faster.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay, I was actually gonna ask, is there like a monetary, like, can we?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of bundles do we have?
Pay into,
yeah, if you guys want the starter bundle is $300. The starter bundle is actually, even though it's so expensive, it's a great deal because the starter bundle is gonna unlock 60 characters for you.
Venmoing you now.
Done. Yeah. Done.
Bear in mind, I will also mention
Can we pay via bits and stuff to the channel?
No, we don't get a good enough return on investment on that. No, it's got to be. It's.
What if I do $600 in bits to the channel?
That because we'd only get like 2 or something. No. It's Zelle, baby. Zelle, hard cash, or I have a Cayman Islands account. There are currently in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9. There are 9 settings that you can go to as of yet. We have over 580 characters ready for you to collect. I should also mention one other thing. The rarities of characters are minor, renowned, fabled, legendary, and mythic. But there is actually another rarity of character that's called special. And those characters, you can collect them. Those are the characters who have been player characters in other games. Player character is unique because I require the permission of the player in question. So you guys can seek those out, research those, bring them in and such, but you can only gain those if that player has signed off. And if a player denies permission, they will be converted into other pages of transcription. If a person, however, like say Lauren is like, you guys want Oksana, you have to help me unlock Quag. Like you can extort people into doing what you want and then release your characters if you so choose. Yes, Connor.
2 questions. Well, one, can we get the course information in written form at some point?
Yes, this will all be posted, of course. Great. And yes, go ahead.
Second question. Is once a character has been unlocked by one student, can other students unlock the same character?
That's what
Excellent question. That is one thing that really does separate this from a traditional gacha game. This is a Highlander system.
Oh.
There is only one of each of these characters, with the exception of the minor characters, who are sort of meant to be whatever. So that being said, you can only unlock a character once, and you guys can only use it once, but you are more than welcome to sort of trade if you so choose.
Can we loan them out?
Well, okay,
like
you know what?
You can use them for 1 week or whatever.
Well, actually, yes, that very much makes sense, because one of the other major mechanics of this is that the characters in question can grant you special abilities in certain contexts. You don't necessarily have them when you're just walking around school, but during these game sessions, they can unlock some powers for you. you only have a limited number of slots. So you will have lots of characters, but you'll have to assemble the right team. So there may be times where you would loan out a character to someone else because you don't have room for them and they could use them in a specific instance. Yes, Connor.
Do all characters of any does capacity to carry cards, is that affected by rarity? So like, does a mythic take up more space than a regular or like a legendary?
It does not.
Okay.
But, and I'll kind of get to some of this. You all have 3 slots, but I will tell you, all legendary characters, in addition to any other powers they grant, then we're going to go to Lauren, then we're going to KJ. I love how this is just people asking these rule questions.
Oh my gosh.
Also, do any players hate this? Is anyone really sad this is what's going on? I completely understand if so. Tell me now if you're like, I have no need to pretend play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes at home. I ruin, okay. So, but in answer to that, you all have 3 slots to start with. You can get more. Legendary characters always grant you an extra slot that can be used for their setting. So, for example, KJ, you have Here Be Dragons. So the character that you've collected from Here Be Dragons has an extra slot for any Here Be Dragons character, so you can add that. Mythic level characters give you a just completely open extra slot. Yes, Connor. Oh wait, no, I'm going to Lauren next, then KJ. I'm going in order of hands raised.
Since most of us are in ongoing games,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
do new characters, do we then have the ability to collect new characters?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
There will be a huge benefit if you ever collect a complete set, I would say, such as finding all 20 of the characters from Blue Moon. That's going to be an easier thing to do than finding all, 106 in Blood from a Stone. And Blood from a Stone is deeply incomplete. Blood from a Stone has so many more. I just haven't added everybody yet.
Wow.
KJ.
It was the same question.
Oh, great. Dan.
So this is a follow-up on that question. For a legendary or mythic, it's a legendary character. So I have Gray in the Dark,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
If I get a legendary character that's not from Gray in the Dark, then how does that work?
No, you have 3 slots. One of your slots has a legendary from Gray in the Dark, which means you can put any Gray in the Dark for free with that. You still have 2 other slots for your legendaries.
No, that's just the one that I happen to unlock first. If I unlock something from like Blood from a Stone, then I can do a Blood. Okay, gotcha.
Precisely.
Great.
Do you have any questions? I know this is a weird curveball. I don't think you play games like this at all. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Kevin, Felicia, how we doing? Weird? Are you guys just like, let's get to the role playing already?
I have
No,
lots of
it's-
questions.
It's a lot to process.
I understand. It
but-
really is.
What? This is not a question for us, but
Dan has his hand up. If they don't have questions. Yeah.
Are you going to send us a full sheet of all the characters?
No.
To reveal?
No, I'm not.
so-
You have to
so-
research the characters.
So then we don't know what they do until we.
You don't know so here's the deal. You don't have to research. You can just transcribe, and in the course of the game, you will learn the names of characters. You can just say, cool, whoever, Dan, roll me a D100. I know I told you to only have 8s out, but roll me a D100.
88, baby.
88, baby. So you might be like, okay, so there's some guy called the Stone Man. Well, I don't know who the Stone Man is. I don't know his rarity, but we're just going to transcribe the Stone Man until we get the Stone Man. You can transcribe that, and then you'll get him. You won't know his power. If you want to know what people's power are, if you want to know what their rarity is, if you want to know you can also research to find out how many characters there are. You can also research to find out tags that characters have. Yes, KJ?
So, because it's gotcha,
Mm-hmm.
can I, like, sell the characters or, like, fuse the characters or, like, powering them up?
Powering them up, there is a gear mechanic that will come in later. There is gear, and also there will eventually be, we'll get to that. So fusing them, not so much, but maybe we'll see. Kevin, were you raising your hand? Did you have one?
So, when you say research,
Yes.
like, what does that mean, actually?
Research means that Different rarities of characters require more lore. So when you research, you generate a certain amount of a resource called lore. And the more rare a character is, the more lore it's required to learn anything about them. This is all a pure downtime mechanic. The idea is that you guys and all of our viewers, who are also members of the folklore department here at Oakshire University, the idea is that you're spending your days like researching. You're reading up on these characters, finding information that if you get enough lore, you then will learn what it is they might be able to do, what it is they might be able to provide.
Yeah, but like mechanically, we just say research.
Yes, mechanically, the downtime is you simply say what you're doing. It's what button you click.
Got it.
Dan.
If IRL is like so, if IRL I read 20 pages of something versus IRL I read like 100 pages of something, is there a mechanical benefit to that?
No, just as long as you are you talking about for the read option?
Yes.
No, just as long as you read, as long as you feel comfortable saying I read today, you'll get double reading points. Or inspiration is that mechanic. And you need inspiration. You basically, in order to unlock a character, inspiration applies to all characters, whereas transcribed pages are to a specific character. Callie.
Are the characters that we summon,
Mhm.
or the ones that are out now or whatever, like, are they under our control? Like, if I transcribe a villain, for example, have I just let loose something onto the world, or are they under my control?
Aaron?
So how do we, in real life, are we stumbling across these characters in the game as we play and then we research them, or are we supposed to be...
It's sort of more the backwards of that. The idea is that now that you guys know you can summon characters from fiction, you are going through and like doing research into, what character from this fictional world could we bring here, or this kind of thing. So
in my real life, I will do that. That I will be doing actual research?
No, you'll be doing, yes, and I should clarify. If you, for example, if you choose to take the research, you say in the Discord, or how I think we're doing it by Discord, you say for that day, I'd like to research Jacket Girl. And that's what everyone here in the game, everyone in chat out there, everyone playing at home, we're all doing Jacket Girl. This is a race to Jacket Girl. That's a joke for the 2 people in here, or 3 people who know who Jacket Girl is. So the point is, or you say I want to unlock Venom from your, the game you already played. So yes, all you do is say research Venom, and the next day research Venom, and that's going to generate a certain amount of lore every time you do it. That is sort of randomly determined and like within a set sort of thing. Once we get enough lore, I'm like, congratulations, you've researched Venom. Here's what Venom can do, and then you're like, cool. That's worth it to me. I now want to start transcribing. And then you say transcribe Venom, and then you get a certain amount of points, etc., etc. Yes, Dan.
Do we need to let you know in a public forum who we're researching?
Yes. Oh, you post it publicly on Discord.
Okay.
Right. Now, KJ, I did a for the funny beat. You asked a question. That question I'm going to answer because that will be coming up in game. Because this is not only me explaining this insane idea I've had. There will be a game here, and every week, for the most part, we have this downtime where between our sessions, a whole week passes for you to do your downtime. But these games, basically, this is a gacha game that has a fun narrative on top of it. I assume it's fun based on all of you. It's already been fun to me. You guys asking questions about how this works has been super fun to me.
And then, do you need certain characters to unlock other characters?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Sure, I'll put some people behind it. Yeah.
No.
No, as of now, you don't.
Didn't we have a quiz today?
But yeah, excuse me, you forgot to assign his homework. So that is basically the idea. I see in chat somebody referencing someone into Elbrand. If you would like to know the truth about Elbrand, this is a good place to learn it.
We're researching Elbrand.
I'm not.
It'll be mine.
It's like Vito Elbrand.
I already told. Yeah. All right, now.
So
What, you're afraid that he's just an amazing and supportive partner? And
No,
an
but I know
amazing
that
stepfather?
someone else will.
So, here's kind of the way the game works. Very excited about this. And obviously, we haven't even gotten into the mechanics of this game and how it's a D8 pool system and all that craziness. But the point is, we are going to now return to... Yeah, go. Yeah. Any
Just
last
briefly-
questions? Sure.
Just briefly, do you want to explain the Discord for those who are here who may not be able to stick to the end?
Discord. I'm gonna be posting how this works on Discord this week. We will not actually be doing immediate downtime this week. I might start later in the week, so stay tuned to Discord. I'm treating this more as an enrollment period. So if you definitely want to play, let me know. There's I may be able to do it all through Discord. I might actually have you email me to confirm. There's going to be a channel on Discord that only people who've sort of signed up for it. Anyone can sign up, but you have to specifically sign up, and all you can post in it are your Discord activities. So there's going to be in the thread here, there's going to be a downtime thread, and then there's going to be a downtime discussion thread. That's where you can all say things like, give me so-and-so, or do this, whatever. Fine, all that fun stuff. So.
Last question.
Yes.
So you said we have 3 slots, and then like one character has an extra slot.
Mhm.
Are we allowed to have more characters, and that's just considered like our party? Or
Yeah.
we can really just have, okay. So we could have like 100 characters, just 3 are active.
Yes.
Okay.
And by the time you get 100 characters, you'll have more than 3 slots.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that was not the last question. Dan has a question.
I don't remember if this has been answered. Could you have like multiple like legendary characters equipped, or just
Sure. You
Okay,
can have,
so- okay,
you can
so-
have nothing but mythics. That'll take
Right.
you a few years, I think. But yeah, you can have nothing but mythics.
right?
So
Not when I'm done Venmoing.
yeah. So you're like,
Yeah, Phil, I got some sick holiday money coming in. that's
easiest
going
10
your way.
grand I ever. Actually, wait, no, that's 10 grand would be cheap. How much do people pay for their like Diablo characters?
Oh, you're talking about whales?
Yeah.
You're talking-
It's like, isn't it like $1 million to get like a Diablo character?
It's a whole lot or nothing. That's pretty much.
Well, so with that, we're going to cut back to the game. The doors open, and you all see in this chamber 6 figures who seem not of this world. We will start with anyone want to volunteer to have theirs revealed first?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's fun. So I'm gonna try to have this look like the animation of the thing. This is our LGI budget. Here we go. So Connor, kind of, you remember there was a
Did you make Lego minifigs of all of this?
This is the this is the orcish gangster Jumpin' Gianna, a legendary enforcer for the Matzo crime family. Jumpin' Gianna, as you walk in, she goes, "Hey, pretty boy, I didn't think I'd see you again." And you do remember this odd moment where you kind of you looked up and almost felt you saw her. Jumpin' Gianna's an orc. She's wearing a pinstripe suit. I didn't have a pinstripe suit, so she's kind of wearing whatever. I also didn't have an orc head. I'll maybe go in eventually. She does have a gun because she's very violent. Jumpin' Gianna is a legendary character, and she provides you with the following power. You gain a lore die on all physicality rolls. That's a big deal. You guys don't know the rules yet, so just humor me on this. You can grant yourself the loose cannon keyword, at which time you deal triple damage and can reroll any offense action you take once. But while you're a loose cannon, you cannot use any facets granted by any characters who are not part of the Matzo crime family. And you can get rid of that once you regain a little power. You also unlock 1 free slot, which can only be used for Grey in the Dark characters. So Jumpin' Gianna, this orcish gangster, she's just like, great to see you again. And she's just playing with her knife and being like, this place is musty. Anybody got any potions? How's it going?
Is that character black and white?
A great question, and one I should point out. Actually, I'm gonna let you decide this. Do you want her to be black and white and everyone else in color?
I don't know what I want. I don't know.
Then yes, she's in black and white. She is in black and white. She is monochrome. And she goes, God, this place is vibrant. These were really good potions I just drank last night. So, Jumpin' Gianna, you have an extremely violent enforcer for the Matzo crime family. She causes all sorts of trouble. Who'd like to go next? Okay, now, this one I feel bad because I couldn't get the right costume for. So it's a different sort of costume. Now you actually, a fun thing about Lauren. Lauren actually rolled 2 kinds of numbers because she was given, because I asked you early and then I realized I was going to do it a different way. So on one of them, you rolled a mythic, and on one of them, you rolled a legendary. Mythic, there was only a 10% chance of rolling a mythic for this. You rolled a mythic, then a legendary. I asked you, do you want the mythic or do you want the legendary who I think you'll like more? And you said go fun, basically. I didn't say mythic, legendary. So the good news for KJ is you don't have to deal with Lord Joseph Course in this game. He's not here, don't worry. But instead...
I mean, it's fine. He'd be easy to kill anyway, so... Instead,
and not... He's famous for dying. Instead, and this mini is not a great look for her, but... You see a kitchen maid. A tall, thin kitchen maid.
Oh.
Standing with a creepy look in her eyes. I thought I remembered the way you looked, miss.
Me?
Yes, I saw you
What?
reading a book. You were moving your lips, as if incanting a dark spell or plotting the demise of someone.
No. I'm dyslexic. It helps me to read with my mouth. Silently.
She walks very close to you. She's very tall and skinny, and you remember that this is a character from Murder by Murder named Wednesday Line. Her name is Line because she was tall, because we already had the older round maid named Margaret Circle. So this was Wednesday Line. Wednesday Line she's a kitchen maid. She helped with an autopsy, and she's a little bit she's very creepy. We named her this long before the Wednesday series came up, so we were ahead of the curve on that. Wednesday's power is you get a lore die in all your coordination rolls. You get knowledge +3 in the macabre. And you are immune to fear. So while you have her activated, you cannot be frightened. You also gain lore die against anything that would like try to control you or stuff, because Wednesday Line is not scared of anything. In fact, she kind of likes it. You also gain a free slot, which can be used for any other Murder by Murder character. Who'd like to go next? So basically, there's a maid. There's a crazy orcish woman in a pinstripe suit ready to stab. You want to go? All right. Now, this woman seems a little more vibrant just because you were reading comic books. Also, I will now reveal that. Oh no, I'll do. Here's what it'll be. It'll be so you pull this up and it goes da 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 da, and suddenly it turns to an even bigger kind of thing because she has a mythic box. Aaron rolled a mythic. A woman, immaculately dressed, smoking from a long cigarette holder, says,
No.
"Oh, darling, lovely to see you."
Oh my God, no!
It's nice to
No,
meet
put
you.
it back!
No!
Tatiana Temple at your service, the Cleopatra of crime.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yes, that's right, Tatiana Temple, the arch villain of the Top Flight universe. This one rolled. Tatiana Temple is mildly good. She's a mythic
Mildly
level
good?
character. Tatiana Temple, you get 2 lore dice on all your intellect rolls. I know nobody knows what any of this means yet. Just hold off. Tatiana Temple, 2 lore dice on all intellect rolls. You gain an additional 5 power for every villain you have in your squad, and then you double the effects of all your villains. So in other words, you just want to get nothing but villains. You will have this evil army, they empower you, and you get more power from them.
Okie doke.
You better be nerfed in an update. What the fuck?
She's mythic. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll get to you in a second. Don't you worry.
No,
She's smoking her cigarette, and she's very, very happy with herself.
Does the library allow smoking? Is that real smoke?
Oh, it smells good. She says, "Don't worry, darling. You'll be dead long before this could harm you."
Oh, put her back!
Who wants to go next? Any volunteers? Love it. All right. Yours is fun. Is Zane in chat right now?
No,
It's
I
fine.
can see.
Should he be?
No. You'll see. So basically, a gnomish bard, who is dressed like she's at a music festival. Lana Del Rey hair with like a flower crown, and she's just kind of drifting around and kind of saying, "Hey everyone, it's good to see you all again." This is Ellie Bog Tumblewop, because the wizard's name is something else, and that's what Zane thought her name was. So this is gnomish bard, Ellibog Tumblewop. She is she's the greatest bard in all the multiverse. She's a beautiful singer. Sad girl stuff. Do you remember her from the Witchlight game?
Yes.
Yeah.
But are these characters... Are they the characters like how we left them? Like, does she have the deck of many things on her?
So interestingly, here is Ellibog Tumblewop's power. You can expend 10 power to summon the deck of wonderful things into your hand. Once summoned, up to 3 beings may make draws from the deck. You cannot summon the deck this way again until a month has passed. Add a lore die to all your will rolls and another lore die to your perform rolls. Gain a free slot. It can only be used on other Wellness Beyond the Witchlight characters. But she goes, I knew you'd come back. I knew you'd like my singing. The window's on and the witchlight comes around. Oh, young and beautiful.
I was just browsing.
Then you're very lucky. I feel a connection between us. Next up, let's do the Blood from a Stone one, shall we?
Oh god, oh god,
no.
oh god.
So this is fun. So Nova, you're getting a legendary character from our longest running series, Blood from a Stone.
Okay.
You are getting a legendary character. I will tell you one of this character's tags out of the gate, which is Dark Lord.
Oh!
You are getting a Dark Lord who has not yet appeared
Ooh.
in the game, but who has incurred into the game on 2 occasions. And this is the weirdest of the minifigures. Because, I guess I should say, you guys walked in and there were 5 strange otherworldly figures sitting around, and one 6-foot-tall, icy, snowy mountain that was just kind of sitting at one of the
If this
desks.
thing is related to Rocky Jumper, I am going to lose my fucking mind.
I'm going to leave.
I'm going to
simply tell you this. Literally at Pierce's request, I have added a like rock tag. So currently 2 creatures have a rock tag, being Rocky Jumper and the Dark Lord of his eponymous domain, Longevous Mons. And Nova, you hear, and all of you actually hear it too, this telepathic, ancient, frosty old voice saying, like all things, you have returned to the mountain. You all feel this like cold blast of air. You have Longevous Mons. So here is the powers that it can grant you when you have it. You cannot be harmed by the cold. Whenever you would suffer harm, you may reduce the amount of harm you suffered as if you had just spent 20 power, which you don't have to spend. Add a lore die to all vitality rolls, gain a free slot, which can only be used for Blood from a Stone characters. So, the idea, Nova, you might understand some of that. So basically, it's like anytime you get hurt while you have this person active, you can act like you just spent 20 power to avoid 20 harm, which is pretty cool. But the real trick is take a bunch of facets that give you the ability to spend less power it's like you can spend 1 power to get rid of 5 harm, and then you can have insane amounts of survivability. So, because you're as, survivable as a mountain. So anyway, there is a mountain sitting in this room. There are so far, there's 4 women. There's an orcish woman in a pinstripe suit. There's a well-dressed woman with a cigarette holder. There's a maid looking creepily, fitting everyone for coffins with her eyes. There is a gnomish bard who is at a music festival vibe. There is a literal mountain that has been scaled down to be about the size of them. And then there's one other figure in the room. Are you prepared, Callie?
I don't know. Yeah.
Across from you, a shadow elf. Her sort of skin very pale, her clothing dark. The legendary Umbral Queen of the Shadow World. The Umbral Queen is the head of the Umbral Court. This is, interestingly, Here Be Dragons is the one game that no one is in from this thing. So whenever there's a Here Be Dragons character, you guys will be like, oh, okay. Basically, the Umbral Queen is in charge of the Umbral Court in the Shadow World. She's a big deal, and she looks at you with this kind of, Ah, yes. the scholar. She gives you this intense look, and she is unearthly. She is elven in nature, with this sort of regal hood and this large gown. I would say that
Villain?
she is not a villain.
Okay.
She is the queen of the Shadow Elves. Gonna mention that aside from Tatiana Temple, who is definitely the most broken character here, yours is probably on the cusp of being mythic as well. Here is the Umbral Queen's power. You can see in total darkness. When in total darkness, you regain power at a rate of 1 every 10 minutes instead of 1 every hour. Cool. Fine, sure. Okay. You may add any number of Shadow Elf characters to your set without spending slots. You gain an additional free slot that can only be used on Here We Dragon characters. So in other words, you just get Shadow Elves. She's the queen of the Shadow Elves. You get any Shadow Elf next to you. What's cool about that is it says Shadow Elves. So that means you get her, you get all her court who were introduced in Here We Dragons, but you can also get Molly Velvet for free, for a free slot from Grey in the Dark, or any of the Shadow Elves you've met there. And there may be Shadow Elves in other games we may or may not have met yet. So the point is, it doesn't have to be from her set. It can be any Shadow Elf anywhere. So you can have a full Shadow Elf army, or you can just say, cool, I'll take that little benefit power and just go chase the stuff you really want. So, yes, arrayed before you, you have this very strange alignment of people standing here in this room, looking at you, or in the case of a mountain, just kind of freezing at you. All of you realize, no rolls required because no one knows how to make them in this system yet, that this is not of this earth. Something supernatural has occurred. These beings, this is no prank, Callie. This is no gimmick. This is no extracurricular, Connor. Something mystical has happened in this strange hall. Tatiana Temple, as one would expect, will break the ice. All right, so these are the ones who've summoned us here. Well, we need to do something about your hair.
Don't be rude.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
She's not wrong.
Okay, well,
Don't
that's
be
not good.
rude, Connor.
Next to you, Jumpin' Gianna just goes... That was really funny that you just said that. That was hilarious. He got you good. Actually, no, he didn't. He has fine. But it's still funny. It was a funny joke. So who are we cutting up, right?
No one. What?
Oh, got it. Playing the long game.
I look at the professor.
Yes.
And I say, so we have. So okay, assuming this is real.
It is real. Yes, it's very real.
Then, what? I mean, the implications of this for just at large are insane.
Indeed.
But what? So what are we supposed to do with this?
Well, I'm not entirely certain. I had an experience like this a long time ago, here in Hampstead Hall.
What was your book?
I brought Aeneas to life. And Callie, no rolls required. You know, yeah, from the Aeneid. Aeneas from the Aeneid. He came and he gave me very good advice about my career. I read from a book.
Couldn't have been that good.
Well, he got out, so probably better than Paris.
He kind of just gives you this look, Doug, like, oh my god. Yeah. Get the impression that there's probably a degree of, like, I can't believe this is the 6. Some of these are star pupils. Some of these are like, really? These were the ones who came? But he sort of ignores that comment and instead says, no, I read from a book that was here. It was called the Tome of Tales.
Cheating. That's like an anthology of all of them.
Indeed.
A little bit.
But for some reason, it seems that the power of that magic tome has in part come to a portion of this hall.
So is it just certain books, or is it all of them? Is it us? What
I don't know.
triggered this?
It is I'm confident that it's some connection that you have to these characters who fulfill certain archetypes, certain tropes, who fulfill certain narrative necessities. And Jumpy Gianna says, "Who you calling? What? Wait, what is that? What huh? What are you calling me?"
We'll figure it out later.
All right, fine. Yes, Miss Hayworth.
Will our parents be notified?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you all about. This is a very dangerous and very special thing. I know that you are all young, and you have your careers and lives ahead of you, but what's happening here doesn't happen. This is unique. I would urge you to please keep this secret for now, even from your parents.
Oh, God.
But you said it happened to you.
I did. But Aeneas went away.
How did he go away?
He didn't remain. When I was finished with the book, I closed the book and he disappeared. These are still here, and I have a feeling they're not the only ones.
Hey, just put them back so we can get back to our lives.
Kind of Ellie Bog just kind of wanders up sort of next to you, looking up. You really want to get rid of us? You don't want to keep the songs going? We can have such a cool time.
What kind of book were you reading?
I was browsing.
Oh,
But she just puts her gnomish hand on yours and says, "But the universe brought you where you needed to go. Be well." I've got a lot of good music I can play. I got really chilled out by going to this place called Prismere. It was amazing. Also, I got rid of that creepy frog who'd been on my shoulder. It was a lot. He'd been watching me change for years. Ugh.
He was creepy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. See, I understand why I'm here already. The Umbral Queen says, "I do not understand why I'm here. Why I've been summoned here by this child."
Allie is going to she's going to try to very subtly mimic the royal she's trying to get the same energy out of her.
Okay, perfect. She says she gives you raises an eyebrow and seems to approve of how straight your back is at present. A cold blast of wind kind of fills the space, and you all hear the mountain just sort of intoning. Place and time have no meaning. All that matters is the cold. Wednesday says, she kind of sidles, she suddenly she's next to you, Medina. She's just sidling up.
yeah.
I like him, miss. I like
Okay.
the mountain. Something about him is very appealing, miss.
Can you not do that in my ear?
I'm very sorry. I can speak to you from further away if you prefer. Would you like me to comb and braid your hair, miss?
No.
I've
don't
never
touch
been a
me.
lady's maid, but I have very good fingers for it.
I don't need you to touch me
Would
at
you-
all.
Would you like me to prepare you a tartlet?
No.
Oh.
I have a meal plan at the. What do you do?
I'm a kitchen maid, my lady.
Do you
Um,
blink?
I can. Would you like me to, my lady?
Miss Royal Queen Highness,
Umbral Queen.
Umbral Queen,
Mistress of the Umbral Court.
Mistress of the Umbral Court. Do you need someone to braid your hair? if she's offering?
My hair can only be touched by the maidens of shadow who've dedicated themselves to seeing to my care in the utmost traditions of the shadow world.
And that's not her.
Honestly, she's not a bad facsimile. Wednesday says, "Thank you very much, Majesty. I appreciate that." Tatiana Temple says, "You're all thinking about this. With much too much complexity, my dears. It's very clear what has happened. You see, we're not us.
Elaborate?
Yes?
We're not the real characters in question. Either we don't really exist, we're simply figments of imagination, of writers or storytellers from far away, or we have been created as facsimiles of those extant characters from elsewhere, brought here for purpose as to be determined, but it is only logical that, until that purpose is known, we treat our host with a little bit of respect. As I'm sure they'll treat us."
Do you live here? In this room?
Jump and Gianna says, "Yeah, well, I mean, not in this room, but we have kind of been stuck in this hall for a few days' time, bumping into each other, you know. I mean, it's a big place."
So you can't get out.
That does seem to be a limitation on our abilities, yes.
That's probably best because we don't even have enough room in our dorm room.
I would love to live in a dorm room.
You are not going to stay in my room.
I would
No.
love to stay up late telling stories into the night.
No. No.
I could tell you such reports of autopsies. You would have a lovely, lovely sleep.
What kind of kitchen did you serve?
I served in a kitchen on Gin Island at Course Court for a most wicked old man. He died, went right over the railing. It was a big to-do.
How far into Murder by Murder did I get?
I'll leave that up to
Also-
you. It seems like Doug only read a little bit, and it was just the part about Ellie Bog. How far would you like to have read?
Like maybe a quarter. Wait, how long is it? If it's a book, how big is the book? And
We'll say you just got. You read a little more than a quarter. But you just got to the scene where the Dr. Austin Gordon performs an autopsy, and there's a kitchen maid who assists him and has steady hands and isn't scared at all of the blood and stuff. And her name's Wednesday Line.
So I do have a question then that ties into the how this game works.
Mm-hmm.
Will we be given information on like how far we've read and if we read further, and can we read the summaries in the Discord?
Read any summary you'd like. I will tell you that all characters are effectively where they are now, and if they are people who died, they are where they were kind of when they died. There is something weird is going on, and honestly, part of the reason I wasn't answering some of your previous questions, KJ, is because that is part of the game, is finding out just what's going on. But Tatiana Temple, the Cleopatra of crime, given the fact that you have her and she's so just obnoxiously Sherlockianly Moriarty-esque brilliant, she is basically saying, I mean, it's very clear what's going on. We are facsimiles, we're not the real thing. As such, we'll decide this is as entertaining an opportunity as any other. You don't say much, do you, dear?
Yes. No.
What is it you study?
Well, I'm trying out photography right now.
Oh God, please don't tell me you take black and white photos of puddles.
Do you want to see?
Oh, Lord. She will look at them and just kind of, I understand. Oh God. Perhaps Oblivion would be better than this. Ellie Bog is just kind of humming a very pleasant tune, sort of, kind of, about waist high for you, Doug. Just. What are we still talking about all of this?
Are you high?
I'm well. Be well.
What does that mean?
Well is a state of mind. I found wellness beyond the witchlight. I sang a song with Jingle Jangle.
Have you ever seen White Lotus? I'm kidding.
I've seen a White Lotus.
Okay. Well,
Tell me everything about it.
no.
No.
Wednesday
No.
says, small woman of a gnomish stature, may I braid your hair? I would love that. Braid flowers into it. Can I braid dead flowers into it? Yes, I'd love that. That sounds wonderful. Circle of life, rebirth, death, everything all at once. Don't go back down is a fine thing.
Professor, does
Yes.
this mean that is that one mine? Do I have to keep her? Do I have to take her to my dorm? I don't want her staring at me while I sleep.
You can't take her to your dorm, as far as we understand.
Does she have to go to my classes with me?
When they
Is this
tried,
like one of those things in high school where they make you take the baby
Or can they go to class for us?
or the egg?
they seemingly cannot leave. Jumping Johnny goes, yeah, I tried, believe me. I ran out that front door like 6 times, and it was just whoosh, I was back in. It was kind of a rush, honestly. You feel a little scrambly when you go out. And you ever felt scramblies before? Huh?
What?
Scramblies is where you're whacked in the head with like a blackjack or something, and you're like,
From time to time.
He's a hockey player.
oh, hockey player. Oh, I know hockey. I don't know how to play. I couldn't skate, but I've certainly put people under ice before. Cut a hole in it and drown them there. It's great.
It's, maybe don't admit to that.
Admit to what? Wait, no one is a fed, right? Are any of you feds?
No.
You gotta tell me. It's the rules.
Students.
Oh,
You have to
And I don't think that's the rule, actually.
that's not the rule? Well, I'll be honest. I'm not one for rules. Does anyone have any potions?
Is that like alcohol?
I have an
Sure,
insure
it's
in my
like
bag.
and sure, let's try it. Hit me.
She'll hand it over.
Down the hatch. Oh! I don't feel nothing.
No, it's just a good source of protein, or if you forget to eat a meal, it's like a nice little...
Oh, I feel full. I gotta sit down. It's like I just ate a bunch of gabagool. She just sits down. Ugh. That's
it,
like
like,
mama's
leaking?
cooking, but... Ugh. What?
Is it like leaking
No,
anywhere?
she consumed it.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to Wednesday
Mhm.
and poke her.
Okay.
just to and like
Careful, she might like it.
she's real.
As you
I'm
sort
I'm
of
just
you
going to
you poke Wednesday and you begin to squeeze her, and she looks at you and just goes, "Ouch."
I'm sorry. Did that actually hurt, or are you just being weird?
It caused me pain,
I'm sorry.
but it's all
I was
right.
barely touching it. I'm sorry.
I understand what it is you're trying to do. I'm very brittle. It's my bones. They're hollow like a bird.
Okay.
I bet you'd look lovely.
You just wanted a reason to bring the weirdest characters back and bother us with them.
I don't know what you're... I will tell you guys, you all rolled these. This was the genuine thing. And I put them in for the right probabilities, and then I randomized. And so that's why I said you can just tell me a number, because it means there's no, it's not like highs, better, lows, whatever. Whew. That's fun.
Just wait for Jacket Girl.
And that's why there's a mountain sitting in here. There's a frosty, icy mountain.
Wait, so are there literally only... You said they're like, what, 500 something?
There's 580 as of now, but as Lauren said, we'll add more whenever we add more.
And it's gonna be my fault. Probably.
So, I feel like the idea of what's going on has been conveyed to you all, at least in part. The professor says, well, perhaps we will, perhaps it's time to leave our guests for the evening. And Tatiana says, oh, of course, you have to go discuss whether or not you're going to interface with us or simply keep us locked away in here to contrive whatever minor mischiefs we can against one another in this place. I
Well,
completely
you can
understand.
escape.
I mean, if I could escape, I already would have, darling.
That's what I'm saying. We're not keeping you here. You're just kept here. It's not our fault.
Well, you're visiting us. It seems downright humanitarian of you to give us something to do. To chat with, other than ourselves.
How come there's only 6 of them when you sent the whole class here?
That is part of the question. At this point, the librarian sort of will say, I have a bit of an answer for that myself. You're the 6 who came within a certain period of time.
Like at the witching hour or something?
Nothing quite so poetic as that. No, it was, there was a... Well, it could go on either side, but there seems to have been about a 36-hour period from the time that Miss Lake arrived to the time that you, Mr. Draper, came. The 6 of you were the only ones who came in.
Of our class
So-
or in the whole hall? I mean, like,
In the whole university, you're the only 6 who came in on the registry.
So
You've done nothing wrong. Miss...
no, I was just feeling bad for your attendance levels, but I think that you'll probably stay. You guys have been open for a while. It's probably fine.
We're happy to be in less used library. Gives us more time for, our own pursuits. Don't worry about us.
So if I open more books, do more people join us?
The professor says, that is part of the question. I'm not sure.
Can I take a book off a shelf and open it?
Sure. Roll your 3d8.
Ten.
No, don't add them. What are the numbers?
2, 3, 5.
2, 3, 5. You grab a book. It's some like weird 70s like psychedelic novel. You flip through it. No one shows up. It doesn't really spark your interest.
I'll shake it. See if anything.
Jumpin' Gianna goes, oh yeah, anything hidden? Ah, nuts. I feel really full. That's like I ate a whole lasagna. Hey, can we get some lasagna in here? Huh?
Maybe the kitchen.
Wednesday says, if you will only bring me ingredients, I could cook you whatever you'd like.
Oh,
Well, we'll bring you stuff from the dining hall.
there's no food allowed in the library. I'm almost positive.
I think they'll make an exception for this, all things considered.
Well, yes, you want us to starve, dear?
No, but I mean, if they're the rules,
Oh, we have to feed them?
Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you
The Umbral
eat?
Queen says, I would assume if we are your guests, you would feed us. And then a cold, frosty burst of air falls through, and the mountain says, I do not require food, for I am not weak flesh. All I require is the chilling power of oblivion. And there's like this weird kind of misty snow that sort of spreads out. Professor says, anyway, yes, we'll of course see to their well-being. There are even some chambers that have been converted to residence higher in the tower for our guests, but I think at this time I simply wanted to let you all know what's going on and ask you for discretion until we can find out what is happening.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to tell people a character from a book came alive in front of me.
I
That there's a
don't know that
mountain.
anyone would believe us.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Yeah, under absolutely no circumstances do I want my family finding out about this.
I
Yeah.
think that for the best. I'm going to be giving you all some special assignments, and as such, I'm going to be giving I understand your academic...
Wait, we get more homework now?
Well, we're going to, Mr. Jolly, you will have different homework. I'm going to pull some strings and get some independent studies set up with the 6 of you. That way, some of your other course loads can decrease, and you'll still be working towards your majors, but this is important business. The dean understands. She's a friend of mine.
The dean knows?
Not all the details, but she knows enough to not ask any questions. For now. I would urge you all to engage in, perhaps not tomorrow or the next day, but maybe the day after that, I may have some activities for you to do in your downtime. I hope to perhaps meet with you within a week or so. I hope to have more of this figured out, and we can meet then and discuss what's going on. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm sure you have many questions, and I wish I had answers. Hopefully we find them together. Hear, hear. All for one and one for all and all that, right, dears? I like having friends.
Okay. What? I'll bring you some bread and cheese. Is that what you eat?
Sure.
Okay.
Bread and cheese.
I don't. From her time period.
There's a theory.
You understand
that
that people have eaten complete meals at any point in time.
I am a very skilled culinary artist. Miss.
there's a theory that if you time traveled and gave someone from back then a Skittle, they would die from the shock of the sugar.
Put
I
your-
heard that, but with Takis.
She looks, Callie, Wednesday line looks at you so sharply and says,
It's just a theory. I didn't.
do you have a Skittle?
She-
I would love to try it.
No, not on me. I can probably check the.
Please.
Wait, actually, can I have Takis in my bag?
Roll 4 d8s.
That is a 6, a 5, a 5, and a 4.
Given that you brought it up, sure, you have some Takis.
Okay. Here. Why don't you try this? What do you think?
It's very processed. Almost chemically in nature.
Uh-huh.
No soul in it at all.
No.
Is this what they feed the masses now? To keep them docile?
Well,
I know.
If you eat a lot of it, yeah, I guess so. You would.
okay. Well, never
If
mind.
you'd like, I could make you coq au vin. If you bring me a chicken and some wine.
No.
Like a live chicken?
If you require it to be as fresh as possible.
Maybe you can find one in one of the books.
Yes. Summon me a chicken from a book, and I will make you such a feast. Tatiana Temple says, I do like this one. Something interesting about her, don't you think? A lot of perspective. Stand up straight. Better. The Umbral Queen kind of looks over at Callie and goes, mine was already standing up straight. Oh, bully for you, your majesty. So, you'll come visit? We are getting a bit bored and tired of one another's company. Speak for yourself. I love all of you so much. The professor kind of looks at each of you. I know this is a lot to take in. We're just starting this journey. But I think why we study folklore, why we study myth, why we're curious about these stories that are passed down throughout time, I think the answers might be here. And on that note, as a pinstripe-suited orc, a music festival bedecked gnome, a regal shadow elf, the Cleopatra of crime, a very creepy kitchen maid, and a miniature icy talking mountain sort of regard these humans who've seemingly summoned them into existence. That is where we will end chapter 1, our sort of introductory tutorial chapter of Lost Lore Academia. So there you go. That's this game. It's a gotcha game. Haha.
Where do I go to
God.
replay the tutorial when I need to?
You go to the VOD on Twitch. You just rewatch this. That being said, we amusingly didn't even get into the system of this game. So for viewers out there who know Blue Moon, we are doing this with the Blue Moon system. We are using that sort of dice pool situation where they're going to roll giant pools of d8s based on their skills. With the powers they get from their friends, they're probably going to have a lot more dice than the werewolf victims of Blue Moon have. And the idea is you want as many matches as possible. That's your degree. If you ever have more than one of a thing, that is a set. Technically, you can't have a set of one. So basically, the more matches you get, the more successful you are. But then there are subjective ideas to this specific number, which our players can see if they scroll over on their sheets under the subject die key. The subjects, rather than moon phases like we have in a Blue Moon, the subjects in this game are the 7 classical liberal arts plus philosophy. They are, which are, you would feel like, wait, why are these separate subjects? What's happening? Grammar, rhetoric, dialectic, music, arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and philosophy. So there's going to be a lot of fun sort of things there. I'm very excited about this game. Thank you all so much for putting up with this nonsense that I'm doing. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. And
At least you took nothing away from me this time.
I took nothing away from you, other than the fact that so horror characters can appear. So Blood for Bestow people can show up, but they're like it's not a horror game, so I think you'll be okay. So there you go. Well, thank you all so much. Did anyone call this? Did any of you know it was going to be this?
No idea.
Not even close.
Okay, Top Flight people, did you know something was up with that book? Did you know that book was going to come into it from our last
See,
game?
I got it.
I assumed it would come into play the next time we did Top Flight. I didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a tradition, and actually it was funny because Pierce did this, like, I think he might have been like half thinking or whatever. I had not talked to him about it. Because there were some options you guys could do things with the book, and that would have actually affected how things started in this game.
I did want to. What if we had just kept the book in the vault? What would?
A different vibe here. Very different situation. I can tell you about that at some point, but I don't want to reveal. Later in this game, I can explain once you understand how things happened the way they did. But Pierce, amusingly, was like, let's just put it in another demiplane. And I was like, ooh, that's the most rhymey way to do it with Blood from a Stone. Because, yeah, so basically the rule is every time you guys put something powerful in a demiplane, new game.
That makes sense.
So I want to say thank you so much to the players. I want to say thanks to everyone who watched. Those of you who want to join this, watch our Discord. Actually, go ahead and message me on Discord if you're like, I'm in no matter what's happening. And
I'm already texting people saying I need their help.
Understood. You're like rallying support to come do the daily check-ins. Roughly the way it'll work is that every day you'll be able to sort of do one downtime thing, because this is supposed to be set in a game where, you know, you also are all full-time students, you're doing other stuff, so it's kind of like you're fitting in whether you're researching, transcribing, or reading into your day to sort of help up these things. Yeah.
How specific do these things, like, do I need to say research a character, or can you do research a series, or can you do...
Oh, man, you are asking such a good question, and the answer to that, actually, I guess I will share very quickly, is yes, you can. There are 3 kinds of lore you can research. You can say, I want to research anything. I don't care what it is, just give us some lore on something. You can do that. You get lore based on anything. It's kind of just randomly determined. Or you can say, I will research this setting. That means you will get lore connected to that setting. It could be about specific characters. It could be about how many of some kinds of characters there are. It could be about powers characters have, their rarity, etc., like that. Or you can say, I want to research this specific character. you typically get more when you're going. The more specific it is, the sort of more lore you get in a. But that can vary a bit. But yes, that's the answer to that. And lore and research is where you can do your meta fun. The rest of it, obviously you guys don't know who the other characters are. Your characters have no idea, other than what you've read, kind of, thumbed through in the books. So, that's the craziness.
Our character doesn't have to be aware.
No.
Right.
Your character has to be aware of nothing but you. So as players, you and viewers are free to try to get specific people who you'd like to see stuck in this building with all these people. So it's gonna be fun. I'm sure Elbrand will be an early chase. I'm sure Jacket Girl will be an early chase. I will also mention though.
Yep.
Going this a gotcha game. There's some real synergy, with guys. If you guys can unlock Maisie and make a full Dark Lords team, that's
who I want. That's who I want. That's who I'm going for. I'm going for Maisie.
If you get Maisie, you know what? Maisie does have some. Certain mythic characters will have some requirements before you can get to them. I will say that. Because they do that in gotcha games. That is how, what Kevin was saying, that makes sense. You'll have to, go on a journey for it. Yes, Connor?
Is there a separate Top Flight and Blood from a Stone Maisie?
Ooh, that's a great...
No, it's just a costume change, just a visual.
Oh, no, but you gotta have multiple characters. That's how you drive the run for the monies.
An interesting question. You have to research that.
Okay.
And then transcribe and reading is just generic.
Transcribe is specific. Transcribe is the only one that's fully specific. You can only transcribe a specific character. Transcribe is I'm going to be getting these shards. Now, that being said, another thing that will happen is there are bookshelves. Sometimes things will happen and you guys will get to earn bookshelves, and bookshelves will give you shards and lore and everything. And with animations, there's sort of there's these bookshelves, there's smaller little bookshelves, there's single books. Yeah. I like Legos. So that was that game. Thank you all for watching. If you're able to follow us, please follow us. If you're able to subscribe, do that too. Tomorrow, I think we'll have Gray in the Dark, provided everyone's up for it. And then on Friday, Dan doesn't know about what happened to Blood from a Stone.
No, I don't.
Blood from a Stone, 13 Tombstones, Part 2, in Good Old Paradise will continue on Friday. It's going to be more dark fun. Is that our darkest session, you think? No.
It was one of them, I would say.
Really?
You say that once a month.
Yeah.
It's been ramping up in a really horrific way, but a good way.
So check that out. And then on Sunday, the finale of Blue Moon. A major thing about Blue Moon was revealed. What game it is connected to came out at the end there. And what I loved about it was Andrew hated the person he was talking about, didn't realize who it was, then learned who it was, and was like, "Oh, I hate her so much." Oh, I loved it. So join us for that a week from that, and then back here 1 week from tonight, and after that we'll be going on a little bit of a winter hiatus, but you'll get one more of these in, and then we can downtime throughout winter, so that when we come back in the new year, we'll have plenty of lore and pages and reading inspiration to apply, and maybe summon some new characters. Thank you guys so much. Players, I appreciate you putting up with my nonsense and twists and silly lies I always tell you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Until... I don't know what I say. Oh, I fucking know what I say. I need to come up with my opening and closing lines for these, but I've got one. It's so obvious what this one is. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, class dismissed.
I knew it.